What's up, Panko fam? Today we're going over exactly how to bulk. I've successfully gained 40 pounds in a bulk without losing my abs, without feeling bad, and without struggling. In this video, I'm going to go over if you should bulk, my bulk nutrition, training, supplements, and recovery, and when to end your bulk. As always, not going to waste your time. Straight into each point, no fluff. Let's get into it. First, should you bulk? Yes, if your goal is maximum muscle gain and strength gain in the long term. Some people think bulking is patched. No, that's dirty bulking. Lean bulking will always gain more muscle than being shredded year round. A true bulk is the number one thing that finally blew up my gains when I stopped making progress. The bottom line is you're not putting on unnecessary fat. It's just that your body's not meant to be shredded year round, so you have to have phases when you're focused on gaining muscle, allowing yourself to gain some fat on the side. Now let's go over nutrition. Number one, and most importantly, 1 gram of protein per pound you weigh every single day. I actually don't track my calories in the bulk, we'll get to that later, but I do track my protein. Some people will say this is too much. Yes, this is slightly above what you need, but there's no harm in getting a little extra. There is harm in not getting enough. So this ensures that even if my protein isn't perfectly spread out or not the highest quality or I miscalculate, I'm still all good. Yes, fats and carbs are important in their own ways, but protein will always be the number one thing for building muscle. So what are the best sources? I recommend the classics: chicken, beef, fish, whey protein powder, Greek yogurt. But I'm also a big supporter of using protein bars, protein shakes, and other quote-unquote fake protein to get your protein goals. You shouldn't live off of these, but some people get really upset over these fake protein sources. It's totally fine to have some of these. It's way more important that you actually hit your protein goal. So I love having a good protein bar, a protein shake, or protein chips here and there. Now, calories. You should be in a slight calorie surplus, 100, 200, 300 calories. However, like I said, I don't personally count calories on the bulk. Instead, I watch how I look and feel and lift. If I'm getting too much fat too quickly, I eat less. If I'm not getting stronger in the gym consistently, I eat more. And how much of a surplus depends on your personal goals. Depends on how fast you want to gain weight, what you're gaining weight for, and so on. But I would suggest just a slight surplus. A huge surplus, a dirty bulk, is not good. You'll gain the same amount of muscle as you would have in a normal bulk, but then you're gonna have to end the bulk sooner because you're gaining so much fat, and then you're gonna have to cut for longer to get that fat off. You don't want unnecessary fat, so be patient and lean with the bulk. I follow about a 90 to 10 eating healthy split, as in about 90% of what I eat is purely clean, about 10% is junk food. As for carbs, to maximize your lifting performance, have some simple carbs right before your workout, about 30 minutes before. My favorite pre-workout stack is banana, honey, Rice Krispie candy, or some cereal, and pre-workout. Lastly, if you're struggling to get your calories and protein in, here are some tips. 1. Drink your calories. Drink your protein. It's way easier to get your protein and calories in if you throw a bunch of stuff into a blender, like Greek yogurt, protein powder, fruit, and just chug it. Number 2. Eat and snack throughout the day. You don't have to fit everything into 3 meals. In between meals, eat fruit, nuts, protein bars, yogurt, and always have a protein shake right before bed. Sleeping is the longest you'll go without protein, so this is something I do every single day. Just make sure it's a light shake. I just do protein powder and water. A huge shake right before bed will mess with your sleep. And finally, stop making excuses and just lock in. You can't change your genetics, you just have to work with them. And everyone can gain weight. I promise your metabolism is not as different from everyone as you think. You can and will gain weight. I believe in you. Number 2, the training. I've been training for 7 years, so I've done several splits, and I highly suggest my push-pull-legs Arnold split. And this can be done one of 2 ways. Either you do push-pull-legs, rest, chest and back, sharms, legs, chest and back, sharms, legs, rest, if you want to train 6 days a week so that your rest day is always on the same day. Or you can do push-pull-legs, rest, chest and back, sharms, legs, rest, which is a 3-on, 1-off split. I love this split because it has a ton of variation, which makes it both fun, and it means you're not completely prioritizing some muscles. For example, the Arnold split of training chest and back the same day isn't the best for chest and back growth, but having a dedicated shoulders and arms day blew up my arms. So this split gives a little bit of everything. And to prioritize a certain muscle that's lagging, I put it on one of the leg days. For example, for some months, I've taken out side delts from push day and put it on leg day, so that I'm training it fresh on sharms day and one of the leg days. To prioritize the muscle, don't spam it, don't increase the volume, that's not going to do anything. It'll likely just hurt your recovery. What you need to do is place it at the beginning of the workouts to train it when you're fully fresh. And I've posted every single one of my routines in one video with exact sets, reps, and exercises, as well as some tips to maximize muscle growth. So if you want to see the exact routines, feel free to check out that video. Continuing with training, you should be doing low volume, high intensity. 1 to 2 working sets per exercise, and every single set taken to complete failure. And I do some cheat reps and partial reps to squeeze out as much intensity as possible. And I stick almost entirely to cable as the machine. It's great to fully isolate a muscle and make sure you're training it to complete failure and not failing for any other reason, like due to a lack of stability or some muscle you're not even targeting. However, enjoyment is important. I bench every once in a while just for fun, like every few months. Here I am hitting 405 at 18 and 425 at 19. It's been a while. Maybe one of these days I'll try another PR and see where I'm at. And finally, for training, this is a huge mistake so many people make on the bulk. So many people make their main focus gaining weight when it should be gaining strength. I don't mean gaining strength in a powerlifting way. I mean gaining strength by progressively overloading in the movements you're doing. If you're consistently increasing the weight that you're pushing, then you're going to be gaining muscle. But if your goal is maximizing how much weight you gain, then you're going to gain some unnecessary fat, which we've already been over is not ideal for muscle gain. Now let's go over every supplement I take and why. Number 1, of course, the best supplement of all, creatine monohydrate. This has long been known to increase strength and energy in the gym, but recently more and more is coming out that it's also great for cognitive benefits, like memory, sleep, and more. No, it's not going to cause hair loss, and it's not going to cause any other health problem. Just make sure you're drinking enough water while you're on it. And I don't track my water, I don't have a set amount, I just drink when I'm thirsty throughout the day, and I always have water on me. I take 10 grams of creatine a day. A lot of people are surprised at this because the general advice is 5. However, this varies depending on weight. I'm heavier than most people, and I want to make sure I'm maxing out the creatine my body can use so that I'm maxing out the benefits. So 5 is okay, but look into taking 10. Number 2, before every lift, I take pre-workout. Pre-workout is underrated, increases intensity, and everyone knows intensity is by far the most important factor in muscle gain. I love caffeine, so I used to take full scoops of pre-workout even when I was working out late, like 8, 9, 10 p.m. That's super unhealthy, and it messes with your sleep even when you think you're sleeping good. So now if I have to work out late, I take Stim-Free Pre, which still has ingredients for pump, focus, and performance, without caffeine. So if it's a late night workout or you want to decrease your caffeine for some reason, take Stim-Free Pre. Next, I take fish oil pills. This is great for your heart, your mind, and your joints. Vitamin D, great for your immune system, bones, mood, and hormones, so essentially just for my general health. Magnesium glycinate, great for muscle performance, sleep, and your brain. If you want magnesium that's especially great for cognitive benefits, go with magnesium L-threonate. Ashwagandha lowers stress and anxiety, improves sleep, improves muscle performance, and some studies have shown some increase in testosterone. Protein powder, super convenient source of protein. On the bulk, throw it into a blender with a ton of other things. Milk, fruit, yogurt, even ice cream sometimes if you want. And on the cut, put it in water. Whatever way you use it, it's great to have a source of high protein with low calories. Not getting enough protein is the second biggest reason I see for people not making progress. Number 1 is lack of intensity. Now let's go over recovery. Because if you're training and eating properly but not recovering properly, you're destroying your progress. The most important part of recovery by far is sleep. 8 quality hours a night ideally. Now to be totally honest, for pretty much all of middle school and high school, I got about 6-7 hours of sleep a night. And I still made a ton of progress because my training and nutrition were so great. So I'm not going to lie and exaggerate it like a lot of people do. Because I see a lot of people saying, oh, if you don't get 7-8 hours of sleep, you're not going to make any progress. However, it is a major factor. Once I started getting actual sleep, my gains blew up even more. And make sure it's quality sleep. Like I said earlier, I thought since I was falling asleep, my caffeine intake was fine. But what I realized was even if you are technically falling asleep, if you're doing things like having caffeine right before bed, you're not getting true quality REM sleep. And here's some other tips. Don't scroll right before bed. End the day journaling, praying, reflecting, and relaxing. Sleep in a cool room. Sleep in the dark. I personally wear an eye mask. And the other part of recovery is rest days. I suggest at least 1 rest day per week. You can stay active a little bit, like hitting some cardio or training a few muscles you haven't trained, but nothing more than that. But the exact number of rest days depends on your personal split and volume. And now, when to end your bulk. There are various reasons to end your bulk, and it's largely dependent on your personal goals. If the main reason you're bulking is to gain maximum muscle in the long term and you're not worried about getting shredded anytime soon, then you should only stop the bulk when you've gained so much fat that it's starting to inhibit your progress. You don't want too much fat. It's going to make you feel terrible. It's going to hurt your lifts. It's going to hurt your hormones. So that's when you stop, when you don't feel good, when your cardio is completely gassed, when your lifts aren't going up. Another reason to stop the bulk is just when you want to get shredded for something in the future. For example, if summer's a few months away and you want to get shredded for a certain vacation, then you should end the bulk and start the cut. And here's how I usually personally make the decision. How do I feel? How is the progress? Am I continuing to get stronger and stronger? Or is it slowing down? And do I still have my abs? I will never bulk so far that I lose my abs. Seeing your abs is a great visible sign telling you you're okay. So yes, my abs aren't good on the bulk, but I make sure I still have them. And lastly, preference. Sometimes you just want to get shredded for a certain timeline, like I said. Or you're tired of being bulked up, you don't like the way you look, and you want to get shredded. Bottom line is it's all about looking at how your progress is going on the bulk and when you want to get shredded by. I really hope this helped. Comment what you want to see next, any questions you have, and stay tuned for some more videos coming out on success, some vlogs, and more. Much love and stay locked in.